Wait. I'm wanted? Why do they want me? I'm the one saving them. Hey there, and welcome to part 3 of Let's Play Super Mario Sunshine. My name is Zane. Welcome to Let's Play with Zane. And today we're going to go into a new area. I know I said I was going to go in order in part 1 and I think also part 2. But I need some change. I can't be playing the same level the entire time. I will go back to Bianco Hills eventually, but this episode we're gonna take on this boss that we've been taking on over and over again, and we're gonna enter a new area because sometimes you need a little bit of change. And you know, I've been thinking about life a lot recently, and I've been reading that you know, that Steve Jobs novel, well, it's not a novel, it's a biography, but I've been reading that a lot recently, and you know what, I'm a big fan of Steve Jobs. Like, love him or hate him, the guy did some cool stuff in his life, and he just had a really interesting outlook on life because he knew he was dying. And so there was this one quote in the book where he said, every day, knowing that I'm gonna die soon, I ask myself, if I were to die today, would I be happy with what I'm doing? And he said, when the answer has been no for so many days, you know that you need to change something. And so that just kind of resonated with me, and so that's why today we're going to be going into a new area, because I just need some change, because I've been playing that level for too long, and so I'm going to be doing that right now. So let's get into this. So this is Rico Harbor, a really cool, really rad level, and I'm not going to follow these signs because I'm a rebel. So we're going to head on top of this ship, and we're just going to head up to these, what are these called? I forget, like high beams or something? I don't know. But we're just going to fast track our way to this boss and use my speed running. Well, I guess was that? I don't know if it's speed running, but I'm not doing it the way they intended it to, so I'm just gonna call it speed running. And hold on, before I do this, just grab that so that I don't have to do that later. And we're gonna grab this guy's arm and we're gonna rip it off, because that's what Mario does. Mario does a lot of animal cruelty. Just putting that out there. Just because. Look at this. This is a squid. He ripped off its arm. He stomps on Goombas. He just, I don't know. Like, I guess he just considers it collateral damage or whatever, but I don't know about that. That's not an excuse to fight animals like that. Like, I get that he's trying to save the island or whatever, but he's killing these things. And maybe they're trying to kill him too, but that's not a great excuse, and so I don't know if that's right, but maybe it is, but I ripped off its mouth, or whatever was in its mouth. It was sucking on something. Maybe it was a fat chode. But speaking of fat chodes, you guys don't know me, so I guess I can tell you this, and I'm sorry, that sounded like it was gonna go into some real, I'm sorry, okay. But speaking of chodes, there was this guy in, well, my last semester at this school that I was at, I took a film class, because I'd been taking only, like, general education classes for a long time, and so I thought it was, like, okay to just kind of take a class to enjoy. And so there was this guy in this film class, and this was a beginning film class. Like, this is the class that, like, older, like, mothers and, like, old people will take because they want to learn how to edit or whatever. And so there was this one guy, he was about my age. By the way, I'm 20. I think he was like 22, but he was gonna direct a film in that class. It was one of our first films, and basically the teacher gave us dialogue, and then we had to use that generic dialogue, which could apply to any situation, and turn it into like a little short film. And so since we had to do this in class, we were acting in everyone's films, and so I acted, I think, in 3 films. And in one of these films, the guy who directed its name, well, I'm not gonna say his name, but You know what? I'll say his name. His name is Joel. I'm not going to say his last name because you will never know it because I'm not linked to him on Facebook. And if you guys manage to find me, you can't find him. But his name is Joel. And Joel is what I like to call a chode. And that may come off a little bit offensive, but you're going to see why. So, I was starring in Joel's film. And basically the scenario was I was buying drugs in a parking garage. And I was a nerdy guy. And so, basically, he asked, okay, so we go through the scene a few times, and he's just like, man, I don't know if I'm feeling this. Could you act more Columbine? And I'm just like, oh my gosh, how the hell am I supposed to act more Columbine? How do you do that? I cannot even fathom how I would even act. How do you act Columbine? Does he want me to grab a machine gun and start shooting children? That I don't even know. Still to this day, it baffles me what he was expecting by telling us to act more Columbine. That's not even appropriate. If the teacher had been there when he said that, shit would have gone down. How do you act more Columbine? Ugh. I don't know. But I wonder about that guy. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see where he goes with his films, because this guy is going to pursue film as a career. And if his first directing choice was to tell me to act more Columbine, I don't know. It was just a weird day in that class. But hey, you know what's even worse? The reason why I really think he's a chode isn't just because he told me to act more Columbine. So the whole drug deal scenario in the parking structure, it was not really his idea. Basically, we were going to be in two other guys' films, and both of them wanted to do something like that in the parking structure. And right as we're heading out the door to head over to the parking structure, he's like, oh, hey guys, I'm going to join your group. And so, oh, shit. Okay, so, oh, fuck, oh, God, no, okay, game over. Game over, man! No, so we're heading out, we're going to continue. We're heading out to go shoot this drug deal, essentially. And he's like, yeah, so I'm going to join your guys' group. And he's like, so, what's your guys' idea? And they tell him, and then he's like, oh, that's a great idea. I think I'll do that too. You don't just take their idea and do it yourself. They were doing two similar ideas that were like that, but at least they were changing it up. He was basically just gonna do a shot-for-shot remake of their film. And so, the story gets better, but that's why I think he's a chode, because he steals ideas and then he asks you to act more Columbine. But even better, we go back to the rooms to edit, and we don't go in the same editing bay as him because we don't want to be around that guy. He's kind of a chode, and so why would we want to be around him? But we do our thing. I'm editing my film. I finish mine in 5 minutes because I've been doing this for a while. So then I help the other people edit theirs. We get through theirs pretty quickly as well. And then, as we're leaving the room to go home, we kind of peek in on his editing bay, and he's there with the teacher. And she's like, so Joel, what seems to be the problem? And he's like, I don't know, my tape isn't reading back. His tape was corrupted. So he lost all his footage, and the teacher told him, alright, well, you're gonna have to go shoot. Oh, shit. Sorry, I'm trying to do these speedrunning tactics, and they're not working out. But she basically tells him, so you're gonna have to reshoot it over the weekend. I'm sorry, Joel. And so he doesn't do that project. He doesn't bother. And so that was the last time I acted for Joel. But, yeah, no, that's just one of the stories from my last semester. in community college, and it was weird. But that class, I did not enjoy that class. Like, I know I'm supposed to enjoy film classes and stuff, but it was a beginner, like, entry-level class for people who really just, they knew the bare minimum. And I don't know the bare minimum. And so being in that class was just more frustrating and counterproductive than anything else. And so it just kind of bugged me being in there. And I didn't make it. Oh, did I? I did make it in time. Nice. I thought I didn't make it in time for the deadline. I was like, oh, it's got to be under 40 seconds. But I guess not. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, no, that class, just so frustrating. Because in that class, okay, so first of all, and this is going to make me sound bad, but the teacher didn't really know a lot. Like, we were shooting to mini DV tape. In this day and age, I don't know anyone who still shoots to mini DV tape in 4:3 aspect ratio, which is basically like the square video, which is what you're going to get in this Let's Play, which is like the square video, which, I mean, you know, it's 4:3. But we were shooting to tapes with these crappy little mini DV cameras, and I have my own equipment. I shoot on like DSLRs and stuff, and so I prefer to shoot on that. But she was like, well, you're gonna have to use our cameras so that we're all on the same level. And, you know, I guess I can respect that, and so I didn't really complain too much about that. The thing that bugged me was when she would give us the wrong information, because I spend a lot of time researching and like reading online and just like learning about filmmaking and stuff. And so, like, I read a lot of books and do that kind of thing. And so I'd like to think that I know what I talk about, because I've been reading these books for so many years and all that. And like, I know what f-stops and apertures and like film stock and all that little thing, like all the little things that you would need to know that are like technical. And so when this teacher gives us the wrong information, it kind of pisses me off, because we're paying for this class, and I'd like to think that people are going to come out of it with the right information. But when they're not, it just rubs me the wrong way. And so basically, anytime this teacher, because this was her first time teaching this class, which I didn't know when I signed up, anytime she would give us the wrong information and claim it was right, I would kind of call her out on it. And I know that's not what you would, I know you shouldn't do that, but I did it because, you know, you want people to know the right stuff. And so I did that, and I know she didn't like it, but I know that all the other students liked it, because, one, that makes class interesting, you know, when there's that one guy who kind of calls the teacher out on their shit. Like, that just makes the class more interesting, because then it adds that level of like, oh, what's Zane gonna say today? What's he gonna call her out on? And so I guess that made it kind of bearable being in that class. But I don't know. I don't know. But hey, we're reaching the 13-minute mark. I don't know if I'm gonna have time for another episode. I've been doing long episodes recently, and so I think today I might do a shorter one. You know what? I'm not gonna end it just yet. I'm gonna do one more thing before I go, just so I don't have to do this later. We're gonna go head over to that place that you just saw in that mini cutscene, and we're gonna unlock this next level. We're not gonna go there in the next episode, but at least we'll know that it's there, so that we can get to it later. But yeah, so we're gonna encounter yet another one of these piranhas. This one's covered in tar. I don't know if I mentioned that with the one at Rico Harbor, but these ones are covered in tar, and so I guess they're stronger. So rather than doing the 3 times that is the charm, it's like 6 times, which is pretty cool, I guess. So like, I got it 3 times, it went back into its hole, and now it's gonna come out one more time. And it's got this weird like little attack where it's like, oh, I'm gonna shoot these little babies at you. And I guess that's cool. I'm glad they did that. It added a little bit of variation and a little more difficulty. Even though this boss isn't really particularly difficult, it was nice to see that they just added a little bit more difficulty to him, because otherwise it would have just been boring. But yeah, we have unlocked this new level, and I can't quite remember what it's called. But that's pretty much it for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. Remember, you can catch me on this channel, Let's Play with Zane, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So subscribe if you want to be notified every time I upload a video. But thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It helps the channel and stuff. But that's pretty much it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Zane, and I will see you all next time.